Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer wants a government watchdog to investigate the National Weather Service's response to the deadly floods in central Texas. In a letter sent today to the Commerce Department's acting inspector general, Schumer said, quote, "I urge your office to immediately investigate whether the staffing shortfalls at NWS offices in Texas and across the country played a role in exacerbating the impact of this deadly flooding event. Those floods have killed more than 90 people in central Texas, including dozens of children. Since January, about 1,000 employees of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, which is the parent agency of the National Weather Service, have either been fired or offered buyouts. That includes about 550 workers at the Weather Service." CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion joins us now from Capitol Hill. And Nikole, do you get the sense that other lawmakers are echoing Leader Schumer's concerns? What are they saying to you?
You know, we certainly have heard some similar criticisms from other congressional Democrats, but many on the Republican side of the aisle are saying now is not the time to point fingers, particularly those who have been affected by this tragedy. We heard earlier today from Senator Ted Cruz, who said, this shouldn't be an exercise in partisan finger pointing at this point, just because people are still waiting for word of their loved ones. Either, there are many families who have people who are still lost, some who have just lost their loved ones. So kind of in this heightened sense of emotion and grief and the unknown, he felt that it was best to not get into this finger pointing game. That being said, though, certainly we know that there remain concerns about why there wasn't a warning system in place, what more could have been done differently. But he and other Republican lawmakers continue to say there will be a time and place to have that discussion, but now is not that time.
And Nikole, I want to turn now to President Trump's massive tax and spending bill, which he signed into law last Friday. If you don't mind, remind us what's in it, and when could Americans perhaps start to feel the effects of this president's bill?
Well, again, this one big beautiful bill, and that is the official title of it, is now law. And so this was really a big accomplishment for the president and congressional Republicans, because it really encompasses a lot of the top domestic priorities that the president and Republicans campaigned on. So things like extending the president's 2017 tax cuts, obviously increasing border and defense spending at the expense, though, of making some pretty deep cuts to programs like Medicaid and SNAP. Of course, it also raises the debt ceiling by about $5 trillion. So many of those tax cut extensions could kick in as soon as this year, but those changes to Medicaid and food assistance will likely take a little bit longer to phase in.
And Nikole, passing that officially named Big Beautiful Bill has taken up so much time and effort on Congress. What's next on the agenda there now that that's done?
Yeah, well, there are a couple of things before lawmakers head out on their August recess. Most notably, the next thing on the docket is this rescissions package. It totals about $9.4 trillion, or billion dollars, I should say. And that is a package that contains some of the administration's DOGE cuts. Of course, we know the House has already passed this package, and at the beginning of this year, DOGE made a number of cuts. So this, in essence, would codify many of those cuts into law, whether that is foreign aid programs or the NPR and the like. So that is something that will be up for discussion in the Senate. More than likely, they'll probably take it up next week, but there are some Senate Republicans who have expressed concern about the level of cuts, so unclear if it'll have the votes to pass.
Nikole Killion, always a pleasure to see you. Thank you very much.
You bet.